they will faint. So we thank God today that we don't have to faint, because fainting is not in our future. We're here to win. We're in it to win it. Say that with me. I'm in this to win it. My actions speak louder than my words. All right. It says, chapter 5, verse 13. We're going to read down. Let's read. Is any among you afflicted? Let him pray. Is any merry? Let him sing psalms. Is any among you sick? Let him call for the elders of the church, and let them pray over him, anointing him with oil in the name of the Lord. The prayer of faith shall save the sick, and the Lord shall raise him up, and if he have committed sins, they shall be forgiven him. Confess your faults one to another, and pray one for another, that you may be healed. The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. Elias was a man subject to like passions as we are, and prayed earnestly that it might not rain, and it rained not on the earth for the space of 3 years and 6 months. And he prayed again, and the heaven gave rain, and the earth brought forth her fruit. Brethren, if any of you do err from the truth, and one convert him, let him know that he which converted the sinner from the error of their way shall save a soul from death and hide a multitude of sins. And you may be seated. I'm going to talk about prayer and faith. Faith, prayer, and faith. When we have faith, there are some things that are going to be so present that some things won't be able to get through to us because we're praying. And obviously, God wants us to understand that prayer is something that we've been lacking in. Some of the followers, some of the believers. And if I ask you today how many of you believe in prayer, I think all of you would raise your hand. And then how many of you pray? And most of you are going to raise your hand. And then if I ask how many of your prayers, every last one of your prayers are getting answered, I think I'm going to lose about 80%, 90% of you. There's a reason behind that, and you need to know why. Sometimes it's not God, it's not you waiting on God. Sometimes it's God saying you ain't going to get it. And I don't ever want to ask God for something that I believe I need it, and he said, you ain't going to get it. Because I believe then I'm not really in touch with him like I ought to be, because I shouldn't be asking God for something he don't want me to have anyway. So I don't want to waste my time with God. I know he got eternity. So it's not a matter of wasting his time as much as it is I don't want to waste time asking God and communicating with him on a level where I ought to be above now. I should be at a level now in my prayer life that when I ask God for something, I get results. And this is where you ought to be. This is where your aim ought to be. Your aim ought to be when I pray to God, he hears me. And if he hears me, he's going to answer me. And I'm not going to have to wait all day and all night and 5 months for God to answer me. I expect God can answer you right away if you pray to him and you're praying in faith. Faith is the very thing that will cause you to pray. Faith gets you up. No, prayer gets you up. Faith takes you through it. You'll begin to walk as a result of your faith. Your prayer gets you up, gets you in the right attitude to walk and live out your faith.